Good morning. It's episode 43 of the Nerdy Cool Dad podcast. As you can tell, I've got my buttons a little low on my shirt, but you know what? Don't let that distract you. It's just, it's hot out. You gotta deal with these things. Just kind of slowing down doing my episodes right now. Just a lot going on in general with life and work and all that. So I'm only gonna do like a couple episodes a week, but I hope that suffices. I'll get some more content out there as soon as I'm willing to do it, really. But what's going on in the news? Well, COVID cases are right back up where they were peaking in the United States. They likely go higher. I wouldn't be surprised to see in the 40,000s a day in the upcoming week or so. I mean, it's pretty nuts. I don't really see them closing things down again. I think everyone's just going to kind of deal with it. I really feel for the people working in hospitals, so your nurses, your doctors, your paramedics, your first responders. It's got to be a complete shit show. But I don't know. I don't think people care as much. They see what the lockdown looked like. I mean, there's still protests going on in the U.S. and it's just, I don't know. At this point, that's all I got. I have nothing else to say, really. Looking at Brazil's number just going up there. I mean, they're completely messed. I can't help but see some parallels between the U.S. and Brazil as far as government is concerned. And having a nonchalant attitude towards things like that doesn't help. But it is what it is. One thing I wanted to bring up is we've been using things like Zoom or other Google Meets, Facebook Messenger, House Party, all these different video conferencing softwares, and it's been interesting seeing people use them in general. Some folks that have never really can barely use the computer are starting to conference with people, which is kind of cool. Tonight I have to go to a digital ceremony for my niece who's graduating from elementary school. Now I feel for her because you don't get the whole going to the school dance and all that sort of stuff. Now I think they're trying to plan something for September, but I mean, we don't know what September looks like and what sort of regulations will be put at a school dance where you can't even go 6 feet from each other. I mean, it wouldn't be that much different from a regular grade 8 school dance, but it's still kind of awkward. But we'll see what it looks like. Apparently afterwards they have like a Zoom meeting for everyone to join. There's like 200 people or something like that. It's gonna be chaos. Like, you can't physically talk to anyone. It would be insane. So I'm kind of curious to see how that turns out. I'll have to ask my niece about that, but it's kind of funny. But what I was getting at with the conferences or like video conferencing and things like that is like even offices that are back in the office, or companies that are back in the office. You can't put an office in the office, or can you? I don't know. People going back, it's like you still can't have these big boardroom meetings and things like that. I mean, you shouldn't, at least. And I'm finding people are having to do their video conferencing at their desk with everyone that's at the office. So, some businesses are super keen about getting people back in the office, which is, I guess, their style. They like to, manage their staff, and they feel like they need to be in the office. So to each their own. I'm happy that that's not the case for me. I mean, I work remotely regardless, so it didn't really impact me too much. But it would be really hard to go from transitioning to working from home to going back in the office when your kids still aren't kind of like back at daycare or back at school or anything along those lines. So it's interesting times, that's for sure. I mean, Canada's doing as far as like going back to like the whole COVID thing. Canada's doing pretty well. I mean, we're getting about like 300-ish cases a day, and deaths are in and around the 60s every day. Not to gloat about people dying and getting a virus, but the numbers in comparison everywhere else, or most places, are quite good. So we could still get a spike for sure. Measures are kind of loosening, so we're in phase 2 in Ontario across the board. That includes Toronto, so a lot of Toronto bars are opening up their patios and things like that. So it'd be interesting to see how this all plays out. As long as people are wearing masks and washing their hands and things like that, I think we'll be okay. I don't think even a second surge would be too catastrophic, but I don't know. I'm just a guy with a podcast. That's all. I don't claim to have the answers. On other news, my mustache has come in quite nicely. I'll give you a little close up. As you can see, it's starting to curl in there. Yeah, I think it gives me a nice hipster-esque look. And kind of fills the void for my face. You know, I got nothing up here, so I gotta make the party happen down here, right? So. It's a hobby, right? You know, you got to do what you got to do. On other news, we'll call this my main story today. Yeah, and I'm sure some of you have seen this, and maybe you're confused by it. But apparently, Michael Keaton is in talks to be Batman again. And you're thinking, wow, Michael Keaton, he was the Batman once, and you're right. He was also Beetlejuice and a few other things, but. I'm pretty excited about this for a number of different reasons. If you think it's just going to be like another like Dark Knight sort of thing, no, not at all. He is reportedly being now it's not confirmed, but why wouldn't you, right? If anyone asks you to play Batman, you play Batman and you shut the fuck up, right? That's your option. But he would play a different type of Batman, so. It's for the film adaptation of Flashpoint. If you don't know what that is, you really should watch the animated version. Maybe animated versions aren't your forte. I promise you, if you go on Netflix and look up Flashpoint and watch it, it's an animated DC movie. It is fantastic. It is probably one of my favorite superhero movies of all time, and that includes the live actions. So, you know, put that into perspective. But what Michael Keaton would be playing is actually Thomas Wayne, who becomes the Batman. So it's a little confusing, and I don't want to ruin it all for you, but the main premise of Flashpoint is it's a parallel universe where Bruce Wayne is the one who's actually killed in the alleyway, and his parents survive, right? So his dad becomes Batman, and his mom becomes someone else. And I won't ruin that for you because, yeah, let's just leave it at that. And other things happen too. So like even Superman, his father is actually Emperor or General Zod. So he's kind of much darker, and the whole thing is really cool. And I'm really curious to see how this works. And this kind of goes back to a rant I went on a while back about DC pushing. I guess when I was talking about like the Snyder cut of the what the hell is it? Justice League. The Justice League movie was so bad. Probably one of the worst movies I've ever seen. And the Snyder cut's apparently really good. So apparently, I don't know how you could make that movie any better. I mean, they would have, like, I would have hated my life if I was Zack Snyder and having to watch this adaptation that they released to the public initially. So we'll see. But the thing with DC is you can have one-off movies that are super popular. You don't have to have this big thing where you build up movie after movie to get people to watch. Just you can do these one-off things. People know who Batman is. People know who the Flash is. If you don't, you live under a goddamn rock. So yeah, I'm super excited. I saw some other stories that are like saying that maybe they're ramping up to do like a Batman Beyond movie. That makes no sense. Different Batman. You got Bruce Wayne and Thomas Wayne. So I don't know why they would even do that. And this is actually perfect because they're asking Michael Keaton to make just one movie, and that's all you need to do. He wouldn't even be the main character in the movie. It's not a Batman movie, it's a Flash movie. And the cool thing about the Flash is, if you know anything about the Flash, he's constantly jumping timelines and going through time and things like that, just because of his capabilities as a speedster. So really cool stuff. I'm really excited for it, and you should be as well. I don't want to ruin it, but I urge you to go to Netflix and watch Flashpoint. I'll even put I can't really put a link to Netflix, but I'll make a mention of it as something that you should actually watch. And I mean, we've all got some time to do it, so get on that. But that's all I got for today. I'm gonna keep it short, and enjoy yourself. It's Tuesday. Enjoy yourself as much as you can on a Tuesday.